So hello students, welcome to the subject of complex variable and partial differential equation. This is our third lecture for the chapter complex number, and as you all know that in second lecture, lastly we discussed about De Moivre's theorem. Okay, and what is De Moivre's theorem? If n is any rational number, then we can write cos theta plus I sin theta raised to n. Let me revise you. This is my De Moivre's theorem. Cos theta plus I sin theta raised to n, that is equal to cos n theta plus I sin n theta. Okay, cos theta plus I sin theta raised to n, that is equal to cos n theta plus I sin n theta. And using De Moivre's theorem already we solve our first example. So let's see how we can solve some more example. This is our next example. If alpha and beta are roots of the equation x square minus 2x plus 4, that is equal to 0. So first of all I want to find out the roots of this equation using our standard method. Okay, so what is my equation? X square minus 2x plus 4, that is equal to 0. So we know that compare with this equation, ax square plus bx plus c, that is equal to 0. So what is the value of a? A is 1, b is minus 2 and c is 4. Okay, and that's why the value of x, that is minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a, so that is equal to 2 plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac, so 4 minus 4 a into c, so 4 divided by 2, so 2a. Okay, so 2 into 1, so 2. Now 4 minus 16, so that is square root of 12, and square root of 12, that can be written as 4 into 3, 12 can be written as 4 into 3, and square root of 4, that is 2, so we can write 2 root 3. So this equal to, now I can write the value of x is now 2 plus or minus 2 root 3 I, okay, divided by 2. So that's why this is exactly 1 plus or minus root 3 I. Okay, and already given that alpha and beta are roots of this equation, so call it alpha. Alpha is equal to 1 plus root 3 I, and the value of beta, the beta is 1 minus root 3 I. Okay, so now I want to find out the value of alpha raised to n plus beta raised to n. Okay, so what is my alpha? Alpha, first of all, alpha is 1 plus root 3 I, and I want to write alpha into polar form. Okay, so we know that if you want to write any complex number in polar form, you need r and theta. Okay, what is my r? R is equal to square root of x square plus y square, so 1 plus 3, so that is 2. And what is theta? This is in first quadrant, so what is the value of theta? Tan inverse root 3. Okay, that is pi by 3. Okay, alpha is pi by 3. That means we know that alpha is tan inverse mod y by x. Don't compare with this alpha. Okay, our alpha is a different. You know that alpha is a tan inverse mod y by x, that is pi by 3. And if your complex number is in first quadrant, so theta is equal to alpha, and that's why theta is pi by 3. So we can write 2 cos pi by 3. Okay, if you want to write into polar form, so cos pi by 3 plus I sin pi by 3. Now I want to find out the value of, okay, this is just a rough work. You can directly write any complex number into polar form directly. Okay, this is just an explanation for you. Now I want to find alpha raised to n. So that means 1 plus root 3 I raised to n, so that is 2 raised to n, cos pi by 3 plus I sin pi by 3 raised to n, and that's why this equal to 2 raised to n cos n pi by 3 plus I sin n pi by 3. Okay, so this is the value of alpha raised to n, call it equation number 1. Now what is beta? the value of beta, that is 1 minus root 3i, and that is equal to, we can write 1 minus root 3i. Which quadrant? Fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant, theta is equal to minus alpha, and alpha is pi by 3. So theta is equal to now minus pi by 3. Okay. So that's why we can write cos pi by 3 minus I sine pi by 3, right? And now beta raised to n, that is equal to 1 minus root 3i raised to n, that can be written as 2 raised to n cos n pi by 3 minus I sine n pi by 3. Okay, so this is, call it equation number 2. Now I want to add this to equation alpha raised to n plus beta raised to n. So that can be written as alpha raised to n plus beta raised to n. So 2 raised to n is clearly common. In bracket now we have cos n pi by 3 plus I sine n pi by 3, okay, and plus cos n pi by 3 minus I sine n pi by 3. So this two term cancel out, I sine n pi by 3 minus I sine n pi by 3. So that's why 2 raised to n 2 cos n pi by 3. Okay, so the final answer is 2 raised to n plus 1 cos n pi by 3. So you can see that this is our required answer, 2 raised to n plus 1 cos n pi by 3. Okay, 2 raised to n plus 1 cos n pi by 3. Now let's solve one more example. Very interesting example. I want to simplify this equation, 1 plus sine pi by 8 plus I cos pi by 8 upon 1 plus sine pi by 8 minus I cos pi by 8 raised to 8. Okay, let's see how we can solve. So first of all, now instead of this one, okay, can I write sine square pi by 8 plus cos square pi by 8 clearly, because we know that 1 is equal to sine square theta plus cos square theta. So instead of theta, I just take value pi by 8. So I just replace this one, okay, I just replace this one by sine square pi by 8 plus cos square pi by 8, okay, and all other term just write as it is, sine pi by 8 plus I cos pi by 8, okay, and in denominator also 1 plus sine pi by 8 minus I cos pi by 8 and raised to 8. Okay, now only one change. Instead of this plus 1, okay, let me show you with a different color so you can easily understand. Instead of this plus 1, okay, this plus 1, can I write minus I square, because I square is minus 1 and minus plus, okay, clearly. So I just change in this equation, you have to write in a next step, okay, but here I just change in this equation. Okay, so now instead of sine square plus cos square, I just write minus I square, okay, sine square minus I square cos square pi by 8. Clear? Now this is exactly a square minus b square. This first bracket, can you see a square minus b square? Okay, and that can be written as a minus b into a plus b. So next step, okay, so now I can write sine pi by 8 plus I cos pi by 8 into sine pi by 8 minus I cos pi by 8. Still all other terms are as it is. What are the other terms? Sine pi by 8 plus I cos pi by 8, okay, sine pi by 8 plus I cos pi by 8 and raised to 8 is already there, and also in denominator we have, I think, 1 plus sine pi by 8 plus I cos pi by 8. Am I correct? Let me show you. 1 plus sin pi by 8 minus I cos pi by 8. Okay, so here we have minus sign, not a plus sign. Okay, so minus sign. Now this sin pi by 8 plus I cos pi by 8, from this two term, from the numerator, can I take common term, right? So that's why sin pi by 8 plus I cos pi by 8 I can take common. Now in bracket I have sin pi by 8 minus I cos pi by 8, okay, and plus 1. Clear? And in denominator we have 1 plus sin pi by 8 minus I cos pi by 8 raised to 8. Okay, now clearly you can see that these two terms are equal. Okay, let me show you with a different color so you can easily understand. These two terms, sin pi by 8, sin pi by 8, minus I cos pi by 8, minus I cos pi by 8, and plus 1, plus 1. So these two terms we can cancel out. Okay, so now we have sin pi by 8. Okay, now we have only sin pi by 8 plus I cos pi by 8 raised to 8. Okay, now can I use de Moivre's theorem? No, because for de Moivre's theorem the term is exactly cos theta plus I sin theta. Okay, here we have sin theta plus I cos theta. So this sin I have to convert into a cos function, and this cos I have to convert into a sin function. Instead of sin pi by 8, can I write cos pi by 2 minus pi by 8? Okay, and instead of cos pi by 8, can I write sin pi by 2 minus pi by 8? Correct? Clearly. Okay, now you can apply de Moivre's theorem. So this 8, now you can multiply with this 2 angle. So that's why let me show you with a different color. Okay, so cos 8 into pi by 2 minus pi by 8 plus I sin 8 into pi by 2 minus pi by 8. So that's why this is 4 pi minus pi, so cos 3 pi plus I sin 3 pi, and we know that the value of cos 3 pi is minus 1, the value of sin 3 pi is 0. So this is our final answer for this example. Okay, let's solve one more example for de Moivre's theorem. Find the value of root I raised to root I. Okay, very interesting example. I want to find the value of root I raised to root I. First of all, what is the value of I? If you want to write in a polar form, the value of I, that is, I can write cos pi by 2 plus I sin pi by 2. Is it correct? Because I means here on a positive y-axis. So clearly principal argument is pi by 2, and r is square root of x square plus y square, so that is 1. So r into cos theta plus I sin theta, I can write cos pi by 2 plus I sin pi by 2. Now I want to write root I. Root I means I raised to 1 by 2. So that can be written as cos pi by 2 plus I sin pi by 2 and raised to 1 by 2. So this 1 by 2 I can multiply with this angle. So that is exactly cos pi by 4 plus I sin pi by 4. Okay, and this is exactly that can be written as 1 by root 2. Cos pi by 4 means 1 by root 2, and sin pi by 4, that is also 1 by root 2. So 1 by root 2 plus I by root 2, and also cos pi by 4 plus I sin pi by 4, I can write e raised to I pi by 4. So now I have two values. Okay, the first value that is e raised to I pi by 4, and the second value, that is 1 by root 2 plus I by root 2. So the value of root I, that is e raised to I pi by 4 also, and 1 by root 2 plus I by root 2. Now very interesting, now I want to find root I raised to root I. Okay. First of all, for this root I use e raised to I pi by 4, and for this root I use 1 by root 2 plus I by root 2. Okay. So this equal to, I can write e raised to I pi by 4 1 by root 2 plus I by root 2. Okay, right? So that can be written as, now I pi by 4 multiply with I by root 2, so that can be written as e raised to I square is minus 1, so minus pi by 4 root 2, and this is plus I pi by 4 root 2. Okay, so now this can be written as e raised to minus pi by 4 root 2 into e raised to I pi by 4 root 2. Okay, and we know that e raised to I theta, that can be written as cos theta plus I sin theta. So now the final answer is here, e raised to minus pi by 4 root 2, okay, into cos pi by 4 root 2, right, and plus I sin pi by 4 root 2. Clear? Okay, so this is my final answer. You can easily find out the real and imaginary part. Real part is e raised to minus pi by 4 root 2 cos pi by 4 root 2, and imaginary part is e raised to minus pi by 4 root 2 sin pi by 4 root 2. Okay, so in today's lecture just we discuss about all important de Moivre's theorems example. Okay, what is our first example? First example is if alpha and beta are roots of the some quadratic equation, I think x square minus 2x plus 4 is equal to 0, then we find the value of alpha raised to n plus beta raised to n. Second example is very important. Okay, this is our second example, right? 1 plus sin pi by 8 plus I cos pi by 8 upon 1 plus sin pi by 8 minus I cos pi by 8 raised to 8. Okay, we just simplify this example, and after that we just simplify this example. Okay, okay, find the value of root I raised to root I. This is our last example. So in today's lecture just we discuss about all very important example of de Moivre's theorem. So try to solve some more important example from your question bank up to this. Thank you.